Good morning. It's 10:30. So I usually come in around 10 o'clock, but today I got up real early. I decided to take a nap before I started this whole thing. Anyway, last night my Kickstarter campaign got approved, so we're going to start the Kickstarter campaign November 1st. In fact, I'll just put the here. Yeah. And that little bit URL is the shortened URL for that long campaign URL. So you don't want to do that. Just take a look at that. And I'll stick it up in the comments also. That's where you go to see the preview, the pre-launch page for the campaign, which looks like it's going to be all right. A few people have already jumped on board and says, I want that. So I plan on doing some real good. I'm now I have to now I'm going to spend the next see almost November, almost 2 months now before I probably send the November 12th to December 12th. That's the dates of the Kickstarter campaign. So at least let me look at that. And then after that, Kickstarter has to let me just look at has to collect the dough. Gotta get the money. And then and then I send it off to the printer. So the printer, though, does a smash bang job of getting things done. I'm not printing in a foreign country. I'm doing it right here in the old United States of America. So I shouldn't have any problems getting 12th to the 10th. It's the 12th to the 10th. December 10th we end. So it starts on a Thursday, ends on a Thursday. That's what Kickstarter tells you should do. So I'm going to do what Kickstarter says because they know what they're doing. So I've got so it takes about 3 weeks to get all that stuff post campaign. And then I send out the finalized book design and pages and everything like that to my printer Mixam in Illinois. They get it done, and I have it within a week or so if I get everything done to them correctly. And then I start sending the stuff out. So that'll be in January, which means I should be able to fulfill everything in January and everything that all the add-ons and the rewards and everything. I'll have those prepared. It'll be so wonderful. Today, I'm working on this thing right here. Let me get it up to where it's fit on screen, which I can do. Yeah, it's not too bad. This is Mule Spooked. Just one of those little things that I came up with. And I played around with it a whole lot on between my last live stream on Monday, and now I played around with the back legs mostly, and I, play things like that. Mostly played around with the back legs because back legs need some work. It just didn't work, and so it's a quirky little image, and so that's what I'm doing today. So let me see. I haven't got my What's going on here? Supposed to be my color layer. Yep. Oh, I see. Well, what did I do? Oh, I see. I see. I don't need this. Okay, you want to get rid of that. I'll get rid of that layer. Add 3 more layers, and one of them, they're all be multiplies, multiply, multiply. And this is the color layer. This is the tone layer. And this is the shadow layer. And in tone, I'm going to stick my usual tone up there. That one right there, that thing. And so now I have to figure out where's my lightest values. So I'll use the dodge tool to mess with that. I've already got at least my sorry old head. I've got the idea for my next print, which some of these prints are going to find their way into the comic book. Some are going to be just reward prints. I'm going to print them up real high definition, big, some borderless, all of them limited edition, everything like that. Some will actually make their way into the actual comic book somewhere along the way. It looks like I'll be spreading this book out onto 5 issues, which is a good way to make sure that I am optimizing every issue so that it becomes just a blockbuster. And I will add, you got the web comic that is my staging area. It is it is the first draft of the novel. I did the novel. My rough first draft of the novel in prose was back in the 2000s. And then I did a script for this, and that became my rough draft for the comic. And then I get that. Been playing around with things. Then what was I doing? Oh, I was that. And so now, when you're writing, you don't publish the first draft. This, of course, comics as it has evolved in the digital age is a little bit different because you can put your work up on the web. For me, I don't know how other people have done it because I don't really pay that much attention to what other people have done. But for me, what I've done is I've used the webcomic as a rough draft, not so much a rough draft, but a first draft. It's a developmental draft of the comic, and then as I move into print, I'm going to do some add pages, adjust images, do. And And so what you get in the print thing is a slick as cow spit on a doorknob version that'll it'll be a new product. There'll be a lot of parts of the comic will actually be in there, but there'll also be things that you never saw before. Like, for one thing, every chapter will have a frontispiece illustration that is just that chapter. I'm just dedicating that chapter with a new illustration, which may be one of these illustrations I'm doing now, or it may be something that I come up with that you never saw before. But it's going to expand the comic book from being like a 28 page to about a 40 page. I'm going to do that about 5 times. And by doing that about 5 times, I have about a 200 page novel. And then I'm going to do that 9 times. So it'll be about 1,800 pages or something like that. And so this first, I'm really going to push this first novel, this first comic, to be beautiful. It's going to really be beautiful. I'm going to have all types of stuff in it. And it's going to do something. I don't know if other people do this. I have noticed this as when there's teams of artists working on a particular comic, that you'll have a couple of different styles that are used. And I am working on that myself. So depending on the tenor of the prose, tenor of the story for that part of the book, there'll be a different way of doing the art, which is sort of like something I do, since I've experimented and done so many things in my life as an artist. I have sort of like this grab bag of ways of doing things. So when things are funny, they're kind of cartoony, and when things are not funny, then they're a much more realistic take on the story and the style. And I want to see whether or not that kind of approach has legs. Because in drama, you have something called tension build up and release. And you don't want the tension in drama to be continuously at the same level. And so many times use comedy to release the tension. But how do you do it in a comic without using some kind of style that's a bit less realistic? So that's where I'm coming from a little bit. So I do that. There's some places that are very realistic, and some places that are a bit cartoony. And hey, for me, this is breaking new ground. For me, I don't know what it does for anybody else. What the heck? And there's I plan on doing a big section on the Civil War chapter. I'm going to do I'm augmented, and I'm going to augment it and expand on the Civil War chapter, the Battle of Gettysburg. Cause one of my lead characters was there, and I'm not sure if my great-great-grandfather was at Gettysburg, but he was in lots of battles in the Civil War, and so one of those things that he didn't talk about too much, because Civil War was ugly. It was really tough times. Okay, look at that. Okay. So this is going to be a mule, but he's going to sort of like be a buckskin mule. And I absolutely love horses, and I like mules too. I was lucky enough, I put myself through college taking care of old people and invalids. Some had polio, some had multiple sclerosis, and it was one of the best things I ever did for myself, because I learned about so much about life by hanging out with old people. Man, old people are cool. One thing, they're smart is all get out, and they have so much experience. But I became friends. I've forgotten his name because this is 40 years ago. A guy who was the last of the Missouri Mule Skinners. A big guy. He's like 6'4", but he's about 90 something years old. He's always asking all the nurses to go out. You want to go out to a movie? I want to go out to a movie. It's just the nicest old guy. Just everybody loved the guy. And he had a private room. He had a private room in this nursing home. I worked for a while in a nursing home. It's where I sort of like got my chops in being able to do private nursing care for the rest of my college days. And he had a private room because his family was nuts about him. Private rooms mean your family's nuts about you. It means they spend some extra money and making sure that you don't have to share a room. And they're usually down at the end of the hall. There are other private rooms there, though. Anyway, he was a great guy. So, kind of dig mules too. A mule plays a special part in part of this story. So now let's go back, and I always like to go back to the previous image and get some of my colors. So I kind of like this. This one turned out all right. Let me put it up on screen and get myself off the screen. There's no reason for you to see me now. And so if you just turned in, where my Kickstarter campaign has been approved, and I've already got a pre-launch page, which is what that little thing is. And there's also in the comments section, wherever you're at, that little bit URL is the pre-launch page. So go over there and please put notify me when I launch. Also, if you're on Facebook, there's a little bell at the let me see if I can find it. There's a bell that is there, and let me see, where is it? There's a bell. Let me look for it. And if you click on that bell, you'll be notified every time that where's the bell? I'm looking at one here, and I don't see a bell. He's nuts. There's supposed to be a bell somewhere. Maybe it's up here. Notifications. And Marco, no. Anyway, what the heck? Anyway, let's have fun. So I swipe a few. I swipe some color from that. So that's my skin tone here for this is Blue Boy. So I have my next little print already mapped out in my mind. And you guys who are artists know that that's where it all starts. You got this idea and say, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And then you work out all the little problems, the draw problems. But the next one's gonna be Ode to Grandpas. And if you're like me, you adored your grandpa. Both of mine passed away when I was little boys. One of them passed away when I was 4 or 5 years old. I remember him vaguely. And he's actually in this story. He's Joby. And I honor my grandpa by naming him as one of my characters, the brother that Blue Boy loves so much. Anyway. And the other one died when I was 12, so I'm nuts about my grandpas. Didn't spend nearly as much time as I would like to have, but there's always eternity, and that'll be nice. So now we're gonna do the I'm getting teary-eyed. I'm 67 years old and I miss my grandpas. Boy. Anyway, the saddles can have a little bit of black in them because they're not overly, they're just like spot color. My wife's coming in the back door. Oh boy. Anyway, it's going to be about grandpas, and so grandmas and grandpas, boy, there's nothing like them. Okay. And then the color of this should be some type of color that complements it, but doesn't get too wild. Probably that'll be all right. I want to get that one. I want to get the okay. And these are just kind of base colors. Like if I was flatting, this would be my flatting, but I don't do flatting because I just takes extra time, and I'm going to do it anyway, like this. Thought the old wife was outside, huh? Well, anyway, and then probably this color for the dirt around them. There she is, coming in the front door. I probably have to get her a Coke. She's been busting her tail, walking the dog. And you guys are up in the northern part of this country. You're probably putting on a coat when you go outside, but there's no need to go on a coat here. It's still in the 80s. So what I try to do here, except for the focal area, I try to keep the colors fairly muted. Along that line here, doesn't seem to be having the problem that I usually have of having this overlapping multiply thing. So can't complain about that. But to keep the colors close to each other in value and the range of tonalities, then the work becomes a little more spatially logical. You'll have all types of colors fighting each other. Not a fauve, guys. I'm just not a fauve. I sort of like no, this is the first one I did where there's like a spooked horse, though I do have one of my variant covers, which I may or may not use. I don't know. We'll see. Has a horse that is sort of spooked, and there's somebody falling off it. That's more like a version of the Confederate officer who gets himself shot by our young Civil War protagonist. And I might as well go across here, bring all this in here like that, and see if I can just use the bucket. That worked pretty well. Yeah. Okay. Dee-dee-dee-dee-doo. And then might as well swipe some colors over here. Yeah, I'll use that one. Even though this, it doesn't matter. Okay. Okie dokie dokie. I'm going to go over this again. So if you're into the Civil War, you're probably going to like this. The second chapter's name is Gettysburg. And it's a super cool one. It's pretty good. And I'm going to spiffy it up too. I'm going to spiffy that thing up. It's going to be even spiffier than it is now. He's going to use a lot of the style for this. See, I've got might as well show the cover. The cover is, well, come on. this thing here. Yeah, it covers this thing. So since a good portion of the first comic is Civil War stuff, we have some Civil War thingamajigs there. And I'll probably work a little bit on some of this stuff, kind of quiet down some of those stray marks. We'll see. But anyway, lately I've been getting closer to the kind of work I actually want to do. And which will inform the entire rest of the book. And books. So, let me see. Grab that, darken it some, and you got Blue Boy's boots. Might as well do it twice so that I kind of separate it from all that other stuff. Oops, oopsie doodle. Okay, that goes there because that's a stirrup. Okay, and then that is that right there. Yeah, gotta get that. So what kind of shirts are you gonna have on? I'm gonna give you a sort of a yellow shirt. You do that by getting rid of any cyan. Make that 0. And that's a pretty nice, yeah, maybe, it's a really bright yellow orange. Okay. What kind of hat color? As close to these faux Mennonites get to being show-offy. Show-offy, that's so I made that word up. Bunch of show-offs. Is a few colors of their hats and shirts and stuff like that. Oh, the old Mennonite way of not wearing too flashy of clothes. Still part of them. You know, they get raised by a former Mennonite, and it has a tendency to have it rub off on you. Okay. And then we have the gray. I like to use a chromatic gray. Let's see, 35, 35, and then 38. Give me sort of a warm color for this. Yeah, I got another page I can color today if I want to. I think I said this before. It is an incredible amount of hubris to say that you're doing something that's actually a significant piece of work. Though if Stan Lee can do it, I guess maybe I should too. He sort of like invented all that. But all these videos I'm doing, I'm trying to record the development of this because, hey, it's available. Doesn't cost that much. StreamYard thing's really not too, but it doesn't cost much. It's not a huge expense. And if Dale Luciano was right, and I am doing something historically, within the realm of comics, significant, then having a record of it is a good thing. This is all just solid building. I think this is going to be my building style. I'm just going to draw it freehand. And it's going to be this style of drawing, everything from now on. I'm going to intersperse it throughout the entire book now because I did this actually in Photoshop. I had a little really cursory sketch put in there showing how I wanted the perspective to look, but I didn't have much else going. And then I just did this. I says, why am I? I did this several times before, like with, though I'd done it I got this little leather-bound sketchbook that is just gorgeous. Got it at Barnes and Noble. And I did a lot of the book in that, but I did some of these drawings of these buildings in that book. But I'm just gonna start drawing freehand and get them in there. Okay. So now you bring this up to only too green. Well, let's put it there. And then, yeah, I must make it 45. 45. Yeah, and then 50. Do that with a slightly darker version of that barn color. Okay. And then we got this little section here. You want it to be much lighter. Just this up here. And just do it like that. And then bring this up here. And reduce the size of this. And I might as well just use the smudge tool to fill in these little gaps here. And I can do the same thing over here. This is watercolor. Maybe digital, but it's watercolor. I'm going to offer commissions that are done in watercolor on 300-pound Fabriano Classico watercolor paper, rough. That is some of the most beautiful watercolor that's ever been produced by anybody. And it's this wonderful Italian paper that I picked up about 30-something years ago. I still have some of it left. So I'm going to do a bunch of these watercolor commissions, at least have them available, of one of the scenes that's in the book, and it'll be just years and years alone. I'll scan it and show people what I did, but you're the one who has the original. So that'd be fun. So now we go and we color the sky and do my thing on the sky. One of the things I like about this tonal layer is it sort of unifies all the color by knocking all the color down a bit. Unless I dodge it a bit, which I have done. I have to play around with that, but this is watercolor, so there's bleeding. Okay. Okay. And fill this little portion in. That's not bad. And then bucket it. Okay. What's that? Huh. Well, I'm glad I put that on there. Okay. Huh. Okay, I'll do it again. Okay, and then this. Can I do that? Yep, I can. I'll just do a little tap dance over there. And smudge that over there. Smudge that in there. Smudge that over there. La da 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 da. Right there. A little bit there. A little bit there. Oh, look at that. I got this over here. Gonna lend some character to this old building here. So this decision I've had on how I'm going to draw these buildings is going to have a big effect in the second book. Second book will be chock full of buildings like this. There. And smudge this a tiniest bit. Okay, what do I got here? Well, here I need to do the slightest bit of, okay, then also the tongue of that mule is going to be a little bit like that. Okay. Do. That looks like a shadow time. And we're going to fit this on the screen. Okay. Shadow time's when things get really fun. Now, pick a shadow color. About 35. 35 would be should be about 45. 45. And then put a little cyan in it. Get a cooler shadow. I'll start up here. Give myself a larger brush because I like to do that. Okay. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, let me see. I gotta modify all these shadows, of course, and then bring out the lighter lights and the darker darks. Da 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 da. Okay. I probably should bring that over like this. There's also an angle going on. Let me see. I'm gonna use an eraser. Better mark that eraser. And then, of course, I'm going to smudge it some more. And then I'm going to have to go into this layer and lay around that. Oops. Doing it like that. Man, my hand's getting sore. Trying not to grasp the old stylus as heavy as tightly as I've been doing. I still have that sky to work on. Yeah, I haven't even been doing this an hour. Been known to do this thing for close to 4 hours, but probably not today. Grab on this tail, make it a little darker. Okay. A little smudging here. Oops, wrong place. Yeah, I'll have to do it in the color area. Actually, the shadow area. Let me see. Rid of that, and what do I have left? I have that. Now, okay, I'm gonna create an extra shadow. A layer. Make this a lot darker. And play around with his muzzle. As you can see here, he may be a mule, but there's some buckskin in there. Buckskins are gorgeous horses. And they have dark stockings, really dark stockings. So you have to fix that. And it's just this little touch of this accent of making him a buckskin that causes it to just start to rock. Just that little variation in skin color going from one color to another that causes the little these effects to just start to say, oh, that's nice. And I obviously forgot one inky dinky place right there where there was sky. So I had to do that. Interesting. No shadow, okay. Okay. Okay, get those back in there. So let's play around with some of the qualities of the clouds in the sky. A little bit of smudging here. Okay, I'm gonna have to probably do a little bit of a fooling around up there. Okay. Up here too. Yep, I needed to do that. Probably going to leave this one fairly dark. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Do it in the, maybe the color area, yeah. Not even that much. Okay. The tiniest bit there. Then that color. And what is it? Okay. Okay. Let's just put in another color layer. You know, the value of the sky is deeper as it that's lighter towards the horizon is what I'm trying to say. So another color layer, so it's not messing anything up, and I can play around with it by smudging it and doing some erasing. Probably towards the end of my life. You know, lives do end. And if you're ready for it, it's a cool thing. I'll probably return to painting after I get I have to get this this series done. Pretty sad. I can't paint during this period because this is, made a commitment to this. 9 books. Got to get it done. Hopefully I'll get it done by the time I'm in my late 70s. If I can do that, then I'll where did I do that? Oh, here. Then I'll return to painting, but I'll probably do versions of this book as Easel paintings. Using all of my insights that I've gained from doing this book, which as you work in a medium, you gain insights. You say, I never even thought of that before. Or, well, I've thought about that, but I never did it, and I'm sure glad I'm starting to do it. Won't tell you which ones it were, but you always learn something. It's the greatest part of being an artist, is that you're always learning something. You're always saying, dang, why didn't I think of that when I was young? Because you didn't. It's simple. You didn't think of it then. You thought of it now. In the estimation of Cezanne and Degas, the greatest artist of the 19th century was William Bouguereau, whose stock really went down with the advent of modernism, because he was like the premier academic painter of the 19th century. Did his best work in his 70s, late 60s, 70s. His work was good before that. It was really heavily influenced by Leonardo. But somehow he made some inroads in his 70s that just started doing the most gorgeous work. Just the epitome of what Raphael and Leonardo were doing in the Renaissance. And maybe that's why Matisse said, I can't follow this guy, because he's done it all. He already did it. What am I supposed to do? Maybe that's why he hated his guts so much. But he did. From what I have read, Matisse just hated his guts. Oh well. I'm not sure I want to use that there. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm going to play around with that in certain areas. If not, I can always get rid of it. That's bad. If I'm going to do it, though, I have to do an agreement with certain areas. I like that also underneath the belly, that belly section. I have to have some of that. And I really need to work on that saddle. I'm going to go into color. Well, maybe color 2. And get that color, make it a whole lot fiercer. You want yellow about 75, magenta about 60, and cyan about 50, and add about 20 to the black, because this is a saddle. I can't get too crazy here. This is also the stirrup has the same. It's the same material. Okay. So maybe here, just the tiniest hint. Yep. Tiniest hint of that, and then okay, this tack here has to be the same color. Okay. And then just use a little bit of a burn tool here. Oh, and then this has to have the same thing going on. What's that? What they call that thing? Anyway, that has to. Let's do something. And then down here, in shadow 2, probably. 45, 45, 45. That'll be good enough. Some of this to be darker. Let me see. A little bit of these little accents help a great deal. Do. Oh, that was a mistake. And I should probably think seriously about going over that again. That wasn't bright. Okay. Maybe I could just use the burn tool. That. It's be a much bigger brush, and then you just have to use this highest amount of pressure. And then smudge it a tiny bit. Okay. Yeah, don't need that to be so blah, 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 blah. Like that. Now, down in the color area, I can probably dodge this just the tiniest amount and do some just the slightest bit of tenebrism there on that horse. Tenebrism is something Caravaggio picked up from Leonardo and Raphael. Late Raphael, the Transfiguration, has really the beginnings of tenebrism. There's a little bit of it in Virgin of the Rocks and Virgin St. Anne. Those paintings by Leonardo have really the beginnings of tenebrism. So that helps. And maybe up here, I don't know what am I doing here? Okay, maybe here. I can do a little bit of burning here. I'll have to smudge it some. I will see whether or not that works. Now, burn this a tiniest bit too. That wasn't good. Just the slightest bit here. Just give it a little more presence. Okay. And what am I going to do down here? Maybe some down here. Which slightly changes the temperature. It doesn't really darken it, just slightly changes the temperature of those shadows. And I see a little problem here, which I think I can fix real quickly. Yep. Okay. What do I got here? Okay. No. Let's play around with the round here, which I think I will do on another layer. I'll just bring this up here. I'll make this color 3, because if I don't like it, I can get rid of it. Okay, and that's done with this, and I want to have a larger brush. Maybe separate some of those features like that little rock that's there. Okay, let me see. Down here, this shadow area. Let me see. I'm getting there. This area down here. Could I possibly do that and sort of like, I'm not sure. I want to do something, kind of break up that area so it's not just this flatness. I think that's the way to do it. And then slightest amount of burn to this. Do. So, well, let me see. Obviously, the star is the is this buckskin mule, but you gotta give Blue Boy a few props. So I think what I'll do there is right there in the shadow layer, I'll do some darkening of that just slightly. And maybe let me see if I can put some just the tiniest highlight in that shiny bulby nose. I gotta do that in the color area. Do believe I'm finished. Okay, I call this Coral Corral Limited turned 01 real. This is the real one. Okay. That's it. Okay. So, it's about noon. I've been doing this about an hour and a half, so maybe I can open up another one that I'm working on. I'm working on this also. So, kind of want to do. Well, this turned out all right. And I really worked on my butt off on those back legs. Those back legs were not easy. I see something here that's bothered me. It's the darkness of that horsetail. So I'm going to burn it some. Yeah, that helps. And burn his hair some. Burn the horse's mane some. Because I want him to be good blacks. That's not going to have any other color on him. Okay. So now we got that. Let me see. What's going on over here? Okay. So, hey. I can't be too sad over this, can I? Probably should, here in the color layer, give me the slightest amount of highlight there. And then what's going on there? Strangely enough, this little print here started out being scribbles on a piece of paper that I did like a half hour before I started my Monday broadcast. I had been working my tail off getting the actual book finished. set up so it's I don't have to do anything else to it. The book, the staging book, the book that basically tells me, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this, I need to do that. Those things, it's done. I don't have to do anything else to that. Of course, I'm going to be enhancing it, making it a better book in the next couple of months, and doing all types of things to get to make it the best dadgum thing I possibly can. And yeah. That's what I was doing Monday morning. Is I started this as just a scribble drawing, almost like just a gesture drawing, and then I scanned it and I started working on it in here. I just kept on drawing and redrawing until I got to this. Ooh-doo-doo-doo-doo. Yep. Well, and that's why I don't do flats, because I come up with things like this, which are much more attuned to the practice of watercolor, which is something I was really bad at for many years. And then I just tackled the dang thing and got into Watercolor USA, started doing a lot of equestrian watercolors, which I liked a lot, which got me prepared for all this. And so now, okay, now I'm going to save it again. And then I'll put this up on a few groups, a JPEG of this. I'll probably put it up on my high school group. They've been real nice to me. But boy, I haven't been back to my old hometown so many years. It's too far away. I'm an old man. I don't like to travel that much. So I think. So here we got it. So over here, let me see. I'm going to do this. I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going to flatten it. And I'm going to turn it into I'm going to make it a lot smaller. About 800 by 1200, which looks real small right there, except that when you bring it up to 100%, it's fine. Though it doesn't have the kind of quality. It's crisper, whereas this has a certain. This is at 11%. So if you brought this up to, that's just at 33%. That's what it looks like at actual size. If you were printing it at actual size, which may, who knows. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Ends together right around there is where it has the same quality as that, though this is I might just undo image size and instead of making it 78, make it 1200. Here, make it a weird experience. There. Okay. Nothing you can do about it. Yeah. That's the difference between this and that. Anyway. So I'll maybe put that in a few sites. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. And then I'll save this as a JPEG. I'll save it on the computer. Yep. I like to call it web copy. That way I actually don't get confused. 2 million may be a little bit too, okay, 1.4 megabytes better. And then I'll save this also on the computer. So I got it in 2 places and save it as a TIFF. And this is the real one. I call this 01 Real. Real. La, 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 la. Okay. Okay, now this is going to be, this is the, let's use this. About 100%. Yeah, it's 100%. Now let's try doing something else. Yeah. This is a BSD, and then I'm gonna get rid of this, get rid of that. Okay. This is gonna be the center spread for the book. Yeah, let's look at it. And print size, so it'll be like that. And that'll be the you open up the book in the center, you open it up, and that's it. So it'll be about page 16 or 17, something like that, 18, 19. I feel like I've got a dummy around here. It'd be 14, 15. I think it's 14, 15. Oh, it's 18, 19 in the actual book, maybe 14, 15 in the story, because you'll have the cover and then the credits page, and then a variant cover, and then you'll have an intro image, and then you'll start on about page 5. It'll be the first of the book. So this is just a JPEG that I put up on the web. This is the real McCoy, which is yeah, it's like a 11 by 17.46. I could probably redo that a little bit, but it's going to be a full bleed. That's why it has to be over 7 by 10. So actually, it should be a little bit smaller than that. So I can fix that. point. I'll play around with that. Anyway. Okay, I think I'm gonna just call it a day because I could work on this, but it's not something that I think millions of people are gonna want to watch. So I got this done today, so it's a good thing. And so I will. The next one that I'll do will be an ode to grandpas. It'll be all about the love we have for our grandpas. And if you're like me, love your grandpas. Let me see. I'm going to do something here because the color of a make it make it 32. Okay. Color of a hoof is not brown. It's gray, invariably gray. Okay. And same thing over here. Okay. Variably gray doesn't have to be, it's not color painting in it's not paint by number. Okay, 93%. I've saved it at 95%, 97%. That's saved. Let me save it again. Okay. Then I'll have to save it again. So I better do the same dang thing over here. Ugh. Yeah, similar enough so I can use it in JPEG on the web. Yep. So, I think this is enough for me. Okay, been a couple hours, and so if you're out there and you come across this, stay safe. Don't do anything silly. Okay, I will see you on Friday.